Good morning. Welcome to the class of e-commerce. Today we'll talk about Google Analytics Advanced, and I want to focus on several things. So our today's lecture will contain basically three subjects or three topics. One and the main one is regarding conversions. So what exactly are micro and macro conversions, and how to properly track them on your site. So that's thing number one that we'll focus on. I think first 10 to 15 minutes. Second thing that we'll focus on is ability to measure events on websites and push them and track them also on your site. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do two things. I will show you first of all how to track events once they are already available on your website. And second thing that I also try to do, I will show you how to set up events through Google Tag Manager, how to push them to Google Analytics, and then how to track them as conversions or goals in Google Analytics. And the third topic that I want to focus on today is showing you several things about measuring results and how to use a couple of advanced features of Google Analytics, such as segments. I know that we already had a seminar where one of our teams delivered the presentation about Google Analytics segments. That was a very strong presentation, and and that was a really strong one and really good presentation. But I feel that there's a little bit than was disclosed in the presentation, or maybe I can supplement from a couple of application aspects, how to use Google Analytics segments in real life to compare the data, and how we compare the data using the segments in our company. So from the starters, let's go to the thing that is micro and macro conversions. I usually show you a website which is ism.lt, and that's usually a good example. The problem which I'm facing today with ism.lt is that it's basically I cannot go backend, and I cannot create events, and I cannot push them myself. Plus, I'm not really sure if the marketing team really wants us to do something backend and create something that I'm not really sure if they're willing to have those things and to keep them. So what I'm feeling strong about is tracking things on the website that I can show you without any legal um, sort of complications afterwards, because nobody will sue me, well, except for me, which would be hilarious, for sharing my own company websites on the lecture. So I can do that, and this is one of the things that I'm gonna willing to do. So my sincere apologies for not having the twin English version, but the point of today's lecture is not about the localization or about languages. The point is about being able to track relevant things. So what happens when somebody visits, and once again, to just repeat, now we will have a short discussion or short introduction on micro and macro conversions. So what exactly can be micro and macro conversions on a website like APG Media? So when somebody comes, to our site, they might, click on our services. They might click on our client section. They might go back. They might scroll something and then read through things, and maybe they will even send us a message. Maybe they will go to our Facebook page. Maybe they will go to our LinkedIn page. On the footer, these things can be and should be tracked on every single website that you know has these elements and is willing to simply track them. So how do you track um, clicks on relevant buttons? And the way usually to do that is to do that either through events, or you can also yeah, usually it's the easiest ways to do that through events on Google Tag Manager. So this is something that I will show you how to push eventually. So a micro conversion can be when somebody sends us an email. A micro conversion can be when somebody goes to our Facebook page, if like clicks here and they simply go to our Facebook page. Maybe when somebody goes to our LinkedIn page, or clicks on the button get in touch, because when you click on the button get in touch, it means that you're potentially likely to maybe send us a message and a request for a proposal, or maybe you're just willing to cooperate with us and do some business. So both options are viable, both options are possible. So many businesses have such form submission sections where somebody can simply go to their site, click on the button, and fill in the form, uh, email, name, last name, message, and then simply click on the button saying, send a request, for for a connection, or maybe get in touch or something like that. So these things can be micro conversions. What else can be a micro conversion on such a page? Like I showed you, then somebody came, like I, let's say, went to our website. I went to the section which is called services, and I see that there are several sections, like there's something about Google search, something about GDN banner ads, something about Facebook or Instagram ads, and maybe I am a potential client, and maybe I clicked and wanted to learn more about our Facebook or Instagram services. So somebody who went to from homepage, from that part to the services section, and from there went into the Facebook or Instagram ad section, that person is very likely to be potentially maybe also a client. Maybe that's a competitor browsing from our page. Maybe that's our student. Maybe that's somebody. Maybe that's our client who just wants to learn more about our services. So such things are valuable to your business, but they do not you know they are not really easily monetizable. Like you cannot simply send an invoice, like for 5,000 euros to somebody, simply because they browsed through 5 pages on your site, and you cannot get paid for that, and you will not be paid like the same amount that I just provided as an example, simply because that's not the way business works. But you can think that maybe this is valuable once again, and this is a micro conversion. That's why that term is used, like micro conversion, a conversion, but not really something mega valuable, right? So such conversions can be when somebody came to this section. When they scrolled here, clicked send us an email, clicked on our Facebook page link, clicked on our LinkedIn section, maybe clicked on the email link, and also like phone number, etc. So, or got in touch. So another example of a micro conversion on our site can be when I click on the button saying like this is the e-commerce book, and please download our free e-commerce book. And by the way, those of you who speak Lithuanian, you're welcome to download a free e-commerce book from APG Media team. The story behind this ebook is pretty interesting. Like the reason why we came up with that was because these were the first days of the COVID in Lithuania last spring, and all the companies they were thinking how can you help businesses in your own market. And our idea was to help businesses move online, and sort of to help businesses set up e-shops. So we created a piece of content which is pretty decent in terms of quantity and even quality. It's more of a beginner's guide. Maybe like it's not something that you will benefit a lot from if you have like already passed the e-commerce course, but something it's something that's really valuable for you before you start having an e-commerce course. The content here in this ebook is not based on the things that I teach at ISM. It's something that we simply practice at work with the potential clients and potential class customers. So it's like sort of to make the conversation easier. So we knew that we had to provide something to the market because everybody was delivering things for free, and we wanted this to be a little bit viral thing, and also wanted this to be a PR stunt. So we created a valuable piece of content. We hired a designer to make sure that this piece of content also looks decent. It's not just like really well written something, but we also make sure that this piece of content had something and also looked nice. So and also represented our brand book. So we created that ebook and we published it. And interestingly, there was really an interest in the market on this piece of content. 15 minutes, the portal, which has a huge reach in Lithuania, wrote an article about our ebook, and on top of that, we even got the backlink from 15 minutes. This didn't cost us a dime or a penny or a cent, or whatever microcurrency you might imagine. We didn't pay anything to them. They simply gave us a backlink to our page, to back to the ebook, and this was awesome. Like having a link from 15 minutes to apgmedia.lt, that's something that we would probably basically any company that would buy a backlink from the website with that big domain rating or domain rank as 15 minutes or Delphi or Verslo žinios, like business news, these companies would pay like at least maybe 200 300 euros for that backlink only, and we got it for free. So the reason why we got it for free, because we provided value, and that value was in this piece of content. So we created that piece of content, and we created that free e-commerce guide, and the results were mega overwhelming. like in the first day, I think we had over 100 downloads of this ebook. In the course of maybe 2 to 3 weeks, we had over 1,000 people or 1,000 businesses, from Lithuania already had downloaded that ebook. So we we didn't really spend that much. Like, maybe we ran a couple of Facebook ads in the beginning, but we stopped them eventually because we just realized that we will not be able to close all these deals and potential customers, and we didn't actually even try to do that, uh, because we were working more on awareness, and that paid off. Like, that really paid off because the companies, first of all, in Lithuania, they started recommending us, more, because they received value for free, and that worked as a nice, PR element. And second thing, um, also our partners and our customers received that piece of content upfront. So we sent everything to them, maybe 3 days before the PR event started, and we told them that this is an exclusive. This is our company exclusive, prepared for them, and that this thing is going to be public only in several days, and they are the ones which get and will keep on getting things before the market will get from us, and this was our value provided both to the market, and this was our value provided exclusively to our customers. So they were happy, we were happy, and everybody else, in the market as well, was really psyched that there was such a thing like e-commerce guidebook in Lithuanian. And to be frank, this is probably one of the first times ever when a well-written guide on e-commerce is published in Lithuanian language. Maybe one of the reasons why it has never been published in Lithuanian is that market is really small, and on the people that you know uh, that potentially be willing or were willing to create e-shops were really well familiar with English, Russian, German, or other you know more international languages. And still, we wanted to create something valuable for the market. That was COVID, just like today. And at that point in spring, we created that piece of content. And when somebody came to our landing page, which was apgmedia.lt/ebook, they could receive this free e-commerce book, and they were able to click the button, download now. So what why am I talking about this example, and why something is relevant in terms of micro conversions and macro conversions? Primarily, when I go back, I see that this is the button here, e-commerce book, like download e-commerce book, and that element stays everywhere. Like, I think in every blog post, in every page, not every page of our site, clients. Okay, not here. So let's go to our blog post and check if we have it here. Nope. Okay, so it's on some sections, like services. So if you're looking for services, and you're willing to, it actually, this stickiest element, it should be on every landing page. on every page of our site, because this is something that's our USP. Like, we are the only agency in Lithuania which is, providing that kind of value, like, for free. So when somebody clicks on that button, that is the micro conversion, right? Just like here, this is the micro conversion. And it's relevant because, the person goes to our landing page for the ebook. It says, please, you're welcome to move your business to online. And you're also welcome to click on the button download now. So when you click on the button download now, you might think that this is already the macro conversion, but not really. And the reason why is because when you click on that button, you still don't, yes, you're already sent an intent that you're willing to, become our potential clients, or, maybe you're willing to download the ebook, but you still haven't submitted your contact form. So once, you fill in the uh, the form. So let us Ormas at apgmedia.lt. Something here. What's your company monthly budget? I don't know, something like that. So the thing which we also have here is, like, we're asking if the potential, customer is willing to opt in or not, for the marketing campaigns. The reason why we have, this, yes, I agree, or no, I don't agree, or I disagree, is because of GDPR. And according to GDPR, we are not really allowed to force people get stuff by, or, like, we're not allowed to simply collect leads by forcing people leave contact information in exchange of something that they could not get if they didn't leave, the contact information. As an example, let's say that if this checkbox wouldn't be here, and the only way for you to get the ebook would be through the clicking the checkbox, yes, I agree, then that would be the violation of GDPR. This would be the violation, and for that, you can get sued. I don't want to get sued. I don't want, like, our customers to get sued. So, we're not really um, heavily pushing, even after somebody, like, leaves the email, we're not really heavily pushing on that site. But just in case, if somebody receives a newsletter from us, it's not gonna because no, it's not gonna be because they clicked on the button I disagree. If they click on the button I disagree, we still allow them to click on the button download now. And I can give you an example here. Like, I click on this button download now, and that's it. You get our guidebook. That's how it works. Like, nothing really complicated. Even if I disagreed on having, you know on receiving our marketing campaigns and our promotions. So this kind of opt-in, when I clicked on download, and then this button, download now, right? So this is already, for me, macro conversion. So this is something that's really heavily valuable for my business, because that person is potentially a customer. So that potential person is potentially a customer. So this is a macro conversion. And another example probably of a macro conversion on our site could be when somebody clicks on the button, get in touch with us, and they click on this form saying that leave your um, submit form. So I, based depending on, of course, like what kind of business you have, this could also be not the macro conversion, this could be the micro conversion. But in our case, these two you know check boxes, or these two forms, are the ultimate ways for us, at least at this point, to monetize from or to get new clients on our website. And this for us is something that we consider to be macro conversions for our business. What else can be a macro conversion? So if you're not a simple, like B2B company like us, but if you are the B2C website, and if you are having an actual e-commerce store, an actual reservation system, or actual something where people can say goodbye to their money. Let us go to, let's go to some example. um, let's say that just came to my mind. One website. uh, we have this, like let's dig deeper into that example. So we already sort of analyzed APG media sites. Like we know what can be a micro conversion, what can be a macro conversion. Let's go into some kind of e-commerce store and think what can be a micro conversion here and what can be a macro conversion. So micro conversion, once again, could be when somebody goes to contact us, when they go to Instagram section, Facebook section, Pinterest section. Maybe if they submit a newsletter, like test at example.com, right? Example.com. And oops, something went wrong, please try again later. Okay, so maybe they know that test at example.com is a fake example. But when somebody's submitting, like is opting in for a newsletter, that is also usually a micro conversion. Another example of a micro conversion can be when somebody clicks on the product and goes to the product section, right? So, and clicks on the add to cart. So let's choose the color, let's choose the size, and let's click on the button add to cart. So here, when I click add to cart button, that's also something that is valuable for my business. And this still is a micro conversion, right? So this is, of course, a very good thing when somebody clicks on the on add to cart button, but that's a micro conversion. When somebody goes to clicks here, view cart, or goes here and goes to the checkout section and fills in the billing, this still can be a micro conversion. But eventually, when the payment happens and the transaction happens, like the actual payment, the actual purchase, that is the macro conversion, right? So macro conversion is something that really delivers value to your business. On B2B side, the macro conversion can be inquiry. On B2C side, that's usually a sale. Another example, not from directly e-shops, can be, I think this is the creditonline.eu. This this example is of one company which is basically uh, doing business as a software company, and they are a software backend for credit companies, like banking or loan companies. So if you're a loan company, most likely that you're doing some kind of backend check to analyze what can be the if you should give out the loans to potential customers or not. And such software requires you to understand, I mean, some kind of algorithm is required for you to evaluate those potential customers. So Credit Online is the company which creates that kind of software and sells and leases them, and and licenses them eventually to the potential clients. So when somebody clicks on the button free demo, and or let's go into product section and see that, look, they have some kind of info, um, what kind of that payday loan software solutions, and stuff like that. Want to learn more? Eventually, you go to register for a demo. So I can browse as much as I want. uh, I would say that the button here, free demo, is of course, the micro conversion button. It's valuable to track that button, but also it's valuable, to track this button, right? So this is also a micro conversion. So when somebody clicks here or when somebody clicks here, eventually they end up in the demo section. So when people go to the demo section, um, this is the part where it's already the potential lead is coming. So if we fill in name, email, phone number, company name, surname, and product that you're interested in, and then you click that you're not a robot and click register for the demo, then it means that from the business perspective, this is the macro conversion. Like, you cannot really do any more on that website from perspective of business. That's it. That's like the maximum thing that you can really do, and this for them is the macro conversion when somebody clicks on the button register. So to sum up, um, it's either when somebody really registers, for a lead, for like as a lead, as a demo, for your consultation. When somebody buys something, like here, when you go to the checkout and make a purchase, eventually on any website where somebody is able to say goodbye to their money, to depart from the money, and make a purchase on your site, the act of buying thing is the macro conversion. If not, if this is impossible, then probably the thing that's most valuable to your business, like in our case, when somebody gets in touch with us, or when they go, to our service section and goes to our e-commerce book and clicks on the button download now, and of course, decides to download and leaves us the contact information. That is also the macro conversion for our business. So uh, pretty simple uh, examples of micro and macro conversions. And let's now go and think, or let's check how to actually track these things, right? So in Google Analytics, I can go to Google Analytics section, and this is an example. This is the reason why I actually went and decided to show you APG Media website, because you can go backstage to our analytics account and check things and show you things, and provide you examples. So here I go to event section, and I see that there are a couple of events which are firing, right? So this is the internal event category. So it means that probably somebody is clicking on a link which is an internal link. So we can check and see what is what. So click and let's go to label and see if there's a label here. Yeah, okay. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Just basically means that you're going from one side of the site to another, and let's say, yeah. So most likely they're just moving through the site, like they're going to our services section, and in the services section they're clicking here, and this is an internal link. So we can check that by going to real-time analytics, going to events, and see if any events. No events happened in recent time. Okay, I'm not here now because my IP is excluded. It's okay, never mind. So to be honest, like this is one more thing which you should do with Google Analytics. You should make sure that your IP is being excluded. You see that right now there are 0 active users on site, and the reason why that is happening is because on the filter section we see that the IP address is being excluded. So this IP address, which is my office IP address, is being excluded. And when I go and browse on my site, this happens, and that's really a good thing that we have our IP address excluded, because many people from our company visit our page, and they usually do that during working hours. So sort of it doesn't really mess with our real analytics data, and Google Analytics shows only people that actually visited our site, and not people that visited our site uh, from our company. So let's go back. Let's see what additional events are there. Let us check them. Internal links, page counter, external link. Okay, so we have one event which is called Scambutis, or in English that's a call. So let's check what happens then. So the event action is called called Scambutis, or a call. Not action, but category is called a call, and this is the event action, which is like my phone number, and the event label is where was this phone number clicked, right? So let's track the call. So how do you track this event? And that's a very good example. That's a very good question. So how do you track an event using Google Analytics goals? So first of all, to track an event has to be pushed to your site. If your programmers already have category, action, label, everything set up properly, then you can simply go into events. You can go to top events, check the event actions labels, and categories, and see if any really events is valuable to you. So like in this case, I see that the event category, which is called Scambutis, or a call, is valuable to me. So I want to track that. In order to do this is a really easy thing. Once you have the events on your site, a possibility to track them is really simple. So how do you do that? You go to goals, and on goals, all you need to do is create the button, create a new goal, and or like in my case, let's say I don't want to create a new goal. Let's go back. I want to edit an inactive goal, because I see that we have two goals which were inactive, for the last 7 days. So let me change now that goal. So I will rename it from from that one that was previously the one into made a call. And for that I will need an event. Let's choose the radio button here, and let's scroll down. Sorry, let's scroll down and make sure that's okay. Okay, yeah, all good. So made a call button, click continue. Yes. Let us erase everything here, and then all I need is this category equals to if I have more event actions and labels or values or something like that, I can be more specific. Like, let's say maybe there are more events under maybe more phone numbers on my site published, maybe something like that. But in this particular scenario, I know that every call is simply very evenly valuable to me. So I will I want to track all of them, and I will not really say that it's one call is more valuable, another is less. What I can also do is once the yeah, so let's do this. Let's just simply click the button save, and let us turn on the call. Make a call, made a call, and this is our this is our goal. We just created it. How did we do that? We went to behavior, went to events, clicked on top events, found the event that we want to track, and we all we did is we simply copied the event category. We can also copy event action, and if we want to be more specific, we can also copy the event label. So what would happen if I would copy also event action and event label? So we see here that event action is kind of the same, right? There's only just one phone number, but the event label is different. So event label, there are two event labels. I see that people called us, from two different websites. They called me from one website, well, one landing page was called About Us, and then from the landing page was contacts. So I can track only people that called us from the contact section, or only people that called us from the About Us section. Let us be more specific, and let us do that. So in order to do this, I just need to go back to goals. I need to find exactly the same events. Sorry, here event details, event action. I pasted. So at this point, because it's exactly the same event action, throughout all the events under the categories Cambodia, or the call, the result would not change anyhow. But once I go into the section events, and once again top events, and let's say let us track only this one, the events would happen on the About Us section. So we go into goals, made a call, and narrow down it to the label which is equal to this one, and click save. That's it. So I just narrowed down that conversion, and from now on it only will count when somebody will go to the About Us section, and only when they will click on that phone number on the About Us section, the the conversion, will fire. The goal will fire, and this will be the conversion, for my business. It would be a micro conversion, but still, it's a valuable thing. So if you are a business and you want to track things, and you go to events section, and you go to top events, and you see that nothing is happening here. You have zero things, like no categories, no actions, no labels, like, and you're thinking, thank you very much, for this lecture, but I have no idea, like, how to track these events, and it's nothing is showing here. So let me show you how to push things, to Google Analytics through Google Tag Manager. And in order to properly push things, through Google Tag Manager to Google Analytics, you need to have two things. First of all, you need to have a Google Tag Manager account. And second thing, you need to make sure that you have access, both to Tag Manager, Google Analytics accounts, and that that, what is exactly the ID of your Google Analytics account. So in this case, my Google Analytics ID is this one. Is like, the UA something, like, let's go to the property section, and yeah, so this is my tracking ID number, and everything that's, like, going to be pushed to that tracking ID section will be pushed to my Google Analytics account. So how do we go to Google Tag Manager, and how do we create an event? You can create an event, for whatever you want. Like, any kind of click can become an event. Let me give you an example. So let's say that I want this to be an event, because I think that this might be not tracked yet as an event. So let us start tracking it. How do you do that? So how do you track things? First of all, I would suggest go to preview section of Google Tag Manager, and refresh everything, and yeah, go to preview, then refresh your, okay, this is the new interface, https apgmedia.lt start. Okay, connecting to APG Media. I did something wrong. Debug connected. Let me go back. Let's go back to the okay. Start connecting. Okay. So now, whenever, like, something is like, being clicked on my site, I will see that here. So let me check that. So let's go to, we see that the debugger is connected, everything is green. So let us go to the pages section, and yeah, you'll see that I just went from one page to the other one, to GDN section. Here, if I go from GDN to services, and from services back to strategy, I will see that this is exactly what happened. Like, I went to the services section, and then to strategies, and like, this is something that Google Analytics is showing me what fired on these on these when the page loaded. So when page loaded, certain tags fired, like the Facebook pixel base code, Google Analytics code, LinkedIn Insights, like right here, LinkedIn Insights, and page view event, remarketing, some other tags, also fired. So let us, click on the button, e-commerce book, and let's see what happens, on the click. So mhm. Okay, this is the new Google Tag Manager interface. So link click. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is interesting. Like, um, this is interesting because I really feel like this is a completely new Google is okay. So let us do like this. So when somebody let's just do a very simple math. Look, so when somebody is clicking on the e-commerce book, right? Um, this is a link, and it means that uh, roughly, roughly connected, and this page is viewable in the tag assistant window. Very good. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, variables URL. So this is the URL where we are currently. Page URL. Okay. 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 So let me just double check if it's displayed properly, and let's do like this. Let me go back, and let me make a break for a minute, and I will just figure out how to make this properly work, and then I will give you, and then I will show you. So I'll be back in about a minute. So I'm back with the resolved issue regarding the click tracking. So um, the way like as this is a new interface of Google Tag Manager, sometimes it works in interesting manners. So when we click on the book, like e-commerce guidebook, we can go back and we will see that look, the link click happened, and that link click had the click URL of apgmedia.ebook, and that the click text was e-commerce book, right? So if we go back to tags, we see that no tags. I mean, there was the internal link click tag fired, but the e-commerce book event wasn't fired. So let us create that kind of event. Let's go to the variables, and let's make sure that we create that that event, and let us push it. So first of all, yeah, okay, cancel. First of all, we need to go back to Google Tag Manager. Yeah, it's here, and let us create a new tag. And let's start from the trigger. So the trigger will be something like that. It's gonna be this e-commerce book a link, like yeah, link, and then we need to figure the configure the trigger. See the trigger, we see that here we've seen that when we clicked on that link, the click URL was that one, like the apgmedia.lt/ebook, and the click text was e-commerce book, right? So let's configure the variable, the trigger, with two parameters. One is this click URL, and then this click text. So I want to track just links, because simply, and then of course make sure that only some links are tracked. Then the click URL, I just selected from the drop down, equals to this one, and I just copied it from here within the brackets. And then let's also make sure that we track the click text, not track, but we also add as a parameter the click text. So to do that, we just scroll down and find the click text, also equals e-commerce book, and let's click the button save. So what we have created now is a trigger. So a trigger is like a variable. So when we go here, not like a variable, sorry, but like say like it's like an element which happens when we track things when something happens. So we created a trigger that when there's a link click, when the click text is this one and the click URL is this one, then there's gonna be an event, right? So the tag will push an event. It's still not pushed because it's still not created, but let us make the event for that. So now let's go to, we have the triggers here. So let's go to the tags. So let's create a new tag, and this is going to be the e-commerce book link. Yeah, exactly. The tag configuration is going to be Google Analytics Universal, and it's not a page view, it's an event. And if that's an event, you've seen in Google Analytics those things like we go to behavior, site content, events, top events, and here you see that, look, this event category, internal link, page counter, external links, Cambutis, Notruka, action, label, all these things happen for a reason. The structured data is in category, action, label, because this is something that is being pushed from backend or through Google Tag Manager to Google Analytics. So I define here how this category is going to be named. So I write down that the category is going to be, let's say, let's make it a link, and action, let's make it a click, and label is going to be e-commerce book, and no value is pushed. So I need to choose to which Google Analytics account I'm sending the information, because I already have the Google Analytics account, sort of like a macro element set up on Google Tag Manager. I just select drop down and choose the Google Analytics settings. If I didn't have it, I would have to create the new variable, and in here I would simply choose the paste the tracking ID. So in my case, the tracking ID, I find it here. I go back, I go to property sections. So I would just copy it here, and I would paste the tracking ID here. And what I would call it, like, Google Analytics takes ISM students. That's it. Like, click button save, and I see that the analytics settings is already here saved. I can now select from those two, analytics settings, one that I had previously connected, that I can created, or this one. So let me choose this one. It doesn't really matter which one I choose, because both of them are exactly the same. When I create these, I say, look, this is how the tag is going to be called. Category is going to be link, click, label, value, false. When will this event trigger? I need to select a trigger for this event to be triggered. So that's it. I just click here. If I didn't have that element before, I would have to create the add the plus button and create this firing trigger, but we already created that in the trigger section. So that's basically it. I just created an event, and now I can start pushing it to Google Analytics, and let me do that. So let me check if this actually works. So when I go to back to my site, let's close that part, this one. Let's refresh the page, and let's refresh the page, and when I click the e-commerce book section, and okay, let's go back to the beginning. Let me, just in case, let me publish it so that it really works. Let me go back to the preview view of my workspace. Let me close everything that is relevant. Okay, let's go check how things work. Okay, summary, and click here, and now when we go to the link click section, we see that it's like we have the tag which is fired, and it's not just the internal link clicks which we had before, but also the e-commerce book link is also fired. So the reason why the firing occurred is because it's an event which has the link click element or parameter. Then there's the click URL contains that one, the click text contains that one, and that's it. And because of that, we had the event, is being pushed. So what kind of event, is being pushed? Um, we we can see that this I'm pushing the first of all, the category is going to call be is being called link. The action is called click, and label is called e-commerce book. So that's how I'm calling it. The problem with pushing that kind of event, to Google Analytics from here, is that it will not, be represented because because I have removed our AP address from real-time analytics. But let me fix it for a moment. Let me remove our AP address. Let me first of all copy it, just to have it somewhere, and let me remove the IP address. So now when I'm in real-time analytics, I see that there's somebody who is happening, like, who's on my site. Let's go to the services section. Let's click on the e-commerce book, and let's go to events. APG, oh, sorry. APG Media Services, e-commerce book, and let me go back to the analytics section here. Home, real-time overview. Still nothing. Huh. Very interesting. Well, on the bright side, we have somebody from Finland, who came to our site and wants to see something about the uh, top trainings. So in a nutshell, I will show you this, like, in maybe tomorrow or next week, how this event is being, sort of represented in Google Analytics on our site. We still have about 15 minutes, to cover these to cover today's class, and I want to briefly go to the section which I promised to cover. That's something related to the to segments. So let's go to acquisition or traffic source medium, and let's choose a longer period. And when we go to when we use segments, the thing that is essential is to make sure that you use segments and you compare, apples to apples and oranges to oranges, or not apples to oranges. So, like, as an example, let's say for me, I would like probably to learn if the customers, are valuable most when they come in the morning, during lunch hours, or in the evening. And if you just compare, people coming in the morning to our website to iPhone users, then it would be really incomparable. I mean, yes, of course I can compare, anything to anything, but it's not really smart to do that. So a good way to compare things is, like, comparing gender to gender, one device manufacturer to another device manufacturer, or one element to another element, which is directly comparable. So I would say that, and I want to give you a couple of examples, of the things that I would use segments, to compare data. So let me show you how to compare, morning traffic to daytime traffic to the evening traffic customers, right? So first of all, let us create, the morning traffic people. Uh, First of all, we need to go to conditions, and then just need to make sure that the hour when the session happened. So how do we define morning? So I would say that hour is at least 7 o'clock, and an hour is something that is so sorry, not hour, but morning is something which is less or equal to maybe 11, or yeah, so 11. So this is these are the morning customers. I already created this one segment. So let's say people that come to our site from 7 to 11 sharp. These are my morning customers. Create that segment. Now let's create the second segment. And the easiest way doing that is by going to drop down section and clicking the button copy. So I just create the button copy, and now I already have the same segment, with the same data, just the name needs to be changed. So let's call it to daytime, day customers. And of course the day customers are something that's more than 11, right? So that's more than 11. And hour needs to be less or equal, let's say, to 16, right? So these are day customers. Then I also create the evening customers, after 4 p.m., but before probably 10 p.m. And then the night customers. So these are the day customers. And I already can compare things. Maybe if I go to the, let's say, section which is called, yeah, 2 pages. Maybe that go. I see that the conversion rates of day customers is slightly higher. Not really very valuable insight, because yeah, something is really interesting. For example, day customers, they spend way more time. Spend 2 minutes instead of 1 minute 48. So that's way more. That's cool. Nice to know that. So morning customers, day customers. Now let's create the evening customer segment. So our evening customers. So that's going to be more than 16 and less than 22. So that is it. And I go evening customer. Oh, the dog just barked. That is okay. So evening customers. And now let us, yeah, in our office is very puppy friendly. So all teammates who have dogs, they are welcome to bring the puppies to the office. Same applies to cats. Whatever you want, just as long as you're happy, and and everybody else around also happy. That's a good thing. Morning customers, day customers, and evening customers. So let us create the night customers. So the interesting thing with the night customers is that, if you just plainly say something that's more than 22 and less than, let's say, 6 o'clock, right, or less than 7 o'clock, this wouldn't work, because in simple math, it's like, you cannot be both more than 22, because 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, etc., and you cannot be less than 7. So here we can use the operator or, and instead of and, let us just use the operator or. So it's more than 22 or less than 7, right? Because the morning hours were from 7 to something. So these are the night customers. So now we cover all the segments, all four segments: people who come in the morning, at night, um, daytime, and evening. Uh, this is really great. I have now my morning customers, day customers, evening customers, and night customers comparable together, and I can see simply which are most valuable and which are least valuable. Like, average session duration is the lowest at nighttime. So if I would, invest in my money into bringing the people to my site, maybe night customers are least valuable. And also we see that the conversion rate of 2 pages per session is the lowest, right? And of course the total is also the lowest, but the conversion rate is this definitely the lowest. Time, as I said, also too low. So, but if I compare, the night customers to morning customers, yeah, of course, morning customers are better, but it's still something not, way better than something else. I would say that, for me, they were really the sweet spot are the day customers. So people that come to my site from 11 to 4 p.m. So if I would just focus on the hour of day when to run the campaign, based on this insight that, first of all, both the time on site is the longest, and the conversion rate of 2 pages is the highest. The customers is the top sweet spot, for me. So we have covered one segment. In comparison, there are way more of them, and I will not cover all of them here, but I wanna create a homework assignment for you. So our homework assignment is gonna be very simple. Uh, let me open up just like a text edit to for you to type everything in so that you can see things and can write down. So I want you to create 4 groups of segments. Not 4 segments like here, because this is one group, right? This is one group, and the group is called like data, the hour of day customers, right? So the hour of day is the criteria, and the 4 segments, they allow us to measure, and compare which segment is performing better and which segment is performing worse. So I want you to create 4 groups like that of segments. In each group, make sure to compare uh, devices, not devices, but elements together. So what are those 4 groups? So one group, I want you to compare devices. And in devices section, you can compare operating systems or device categories, like and I would say the devices, and more specific device categories. And you will be able to create 3 device categories. There are 3 device categories available. So one of them is tablet, another one is phone, like mobile phone, and or just mobile, and the third device category is a computer. So yeah, okay, so computer. Let me just go to audiences, and then go to mobile, and devices. We'll see that. Let us remove all these segments here because I don't really need them anymore. Okay, devices, mobile overview, and yeah, we see that there's desktop, mobile, and tablet. So these are the three device categories. So I want you to create the segments based on those three device categories. Second thing that I want you to create is to create the segments based on the gender. And of course, there are two genders, male, female. So it's pretty clear. Two of them. And the third one, which I also want you to create, is by the city. And I want you to think of, I want you to go into your analytics account, the one that you operate with, and sort of group the cities, not just create one segment for Vilnius, one segment for Palanga, but maybe you should create the segments the big cities like Vilnius, Kaunas, Klaipėda together, and in that case you could use the or operator, like I showed you with the hours at night. So cities, and use the or operator to create the city segments, and make, let's say, three kind of cities, or three kind of segments. One is the main cities, then the average size cities, and then the rest together, and just check which cities deliver most traffic and have highest conversion rates. So big cities versus small ones. So four groups on devices, gender, cities, and let's think of the fourth one. Let us go. Let's create one for the one group for the, maybe let's create a merged group, which would be a both let's say iPhone 10 or 11 users versus Samsung Galaxy S20, or maybe choose one more, it can be another Samsung flagship, or it can be another maybe HTC or Huawei or whatever flagship. So these two versus another one, and that's it. Yeah. So one group versus another, and you can also, and make sure that sort of this, and here you and operating system is iOS, and here and OS is Android. It's, I know that you cannot really be iPhone without iOS or Samsung without Android, but what I want you to create is this conditional segment, and right here add multiple conditions, like for example device category would be mobile, and you know, device, like, you know, the brand, product brand would be Apple, and you know, the operating system, yeah, okay, sorry, it would be, yeah, would be iOS, and let's remove that one. So iOS, here device can mobile, then the mobile device info contains, let's say, yeah, Apple, Apple something, Apple iPhone, here. So yeah, you cannot really create the, I think you cannot really, yeah, you can have the iPhone 7, XS, 6S, and etc. So whatever, you know, version of iPhone you want to choose, just sort of create this with the and you know, elements, conditional segment. So this is your homework. Like, you know, these four groups of segments: devices, genders, cities, and this is going to be the device brands or device types, device models. So that's it for today's lecture, and I will see you then in the seminar, and and that's it. So, you know, have a great break, and talk to you soon. Bye bye. And one more thing, I want you to do two additional homework assignments, you know, for next week. So one of them is, you know, to go to you know, to Skillshop and take the Google Analytics certification. And second thing, I want you to go to Skillshop again and take Google display ads certification. I will you know, post links, you know, to everything in both in e-learning and in Teams. But anyway, once again, talk to you soon. Two homework assignments. One of them is to create 4 groups of segments. Another one is to create, you know, to take the two certifications. You at least you should take the Google Analytics certification for now. You can take the display ad certification next week, but the analytics one I recommend taking now. The sooner you take all of them, you know, the less homework assignments you have left. Take care. Have a great day.